Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Danielle Daily Show. I am your host, Danielle Watson. I am so happy that you guys are joining me here today. We are continuing our series on letting go. I've been hammering on this since last Friday. Thank you so much for putting up with me. I just feel like there is so much material to cover around this idea of letting go. And I feel like so many people are asking for this and are needing this concept of letting go. And so we are exploring it from all different angles, just looking at it from different perspectives. And today we're looking at letting go from the perspective of forgiveness. I will have today's note to self for you. Can you believe how quickly this week is flying by? It's already Thursday. I feel like this week has just completely run past me like a high-speed train. Remember, you can join me for the Danielle Daily Show weekdays at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. I'm here every single weekday unless I'm on vacation, and when I am, I always let you guys know in advance. I just wanted to give you a heads up that there is a handyman coming to my condo next week, and if he's going to be here during the time of the show, we may skip the show one day next week, but I will post on the Danielle Daily Facebook page to let you know that there won't be any show, because I know many of you like to set the alarm on your phone to make sure that you don't miss the live broadcast. So, like I said, today we're talking about the idea of letting go from the perspective of forgiveness. And I think this is so interesting. I mean, many of you know that I put out a book at the end of last year, and it was all about my year of heartbreak and healing, and it was called Dear Self, I Love You, Keep Going. And after I put that book out there, I've had a lot of people come to me who've been through a similar experience, who've been through a heartbreak, who've been through a divorce, and they've shared their story with me. And one of the recurring themes as people have shared their story with me is their incredulousness at how quickly I overcame the pain of that. And it doesn't mean that I don't still have times when I feel sad or when I feel hurt by it, but I was very quickly able to take that pain and process it so that I could move forward. And I've had a lot of women especially share their experience with me of divorce and of heartbreak and of going for years and years feeling that same level of trauma and heartbreak and discomfort that they felt, just not that long after it just happened. I see somebody has joined us. I'm not sure who it is. I see thumbs ups and hearts going across the screen. Thank you so much. If you joined me for the show, please just type something into the comments, just a hello. I love knowing that you're here. I love being able to greet you by name. I'm not able to see who is actually watching the broadcast unless you guys let me know. But if you like to be incognito or anonymous, that's fine too. But I would love it if you would type something in the comments. Just let me know you're here. So like I was saying, I've had a lot of conversations with women who have been through a very emotionally difficult time with a heartbreak or with divorce, and it can take a really long time for that stuff to heal. It can take a long time for that stuff to settle, just depending on, how long you were with your partner, what happened, how it ended, all of those things. And one of the things that I think really helped me move forward quickly, I got the full smackdown and I popped up pretty quickly. And I think one of the things that helped me is that I had a practice of really taking responsibility for my feelings as much as possible. And I think that we talk about forgiveness, but we often think about it from the perspective of, what the other person did and forgiving them. And what I want to talk about today is really just taking responsibility for our feelings. Julio's here. Thank you for joining me. So today we're talking about forgiveness and how it helps us to be able to move forward quickly in our lives. It's something that I have practiced, and I want to talk about it from a little bit different angle. So not looking at what somebody did and forgiving their action, but looking at how we feel about a situation or something that happened and just processing that and forgiving that, just letting go. forgiving however we feel, saying, acknowledging that that's how we felt or that's how we feel, and then deciding that we're going to let it go. That maybe we were angry, maybe we were hurt, maybe we were upset, maybe we were outraged, maybe we were any number of things that don't feel good. Acknowledging that and then letting it go. So really processing and forgiving our own emotions about something, I think, is so key in being able to move forward. You know, when I was going through all my pain and difficulty and all of the ugly and horrible feelings that come with going through a divorce, I was really clear that what I wanted to do was get a hold of how I felt about it, because whatever was happening was happening. I had no control over that. If you've ever been on the divorce train, you know that things are going to happen and there's nothing you can do about it. But what you can do is take responsibility and control of how you feel inside. And I think that's true for any kind of situation or relationship we have with other people. You don't have to be going through a divorce to take ownership and control of how you feel about something. You know, there are things that happen just in our everyday lives where people upset us, or we feel angry, or something happens that makes us sad, or we feel betrayed, or whatever it is. And whatever those things are, just as with being on the divorce train and not being able to do anything about it, anything anybody else does in your world or does to you, you really don't have any control over. And where you have control is how you respond, how you manage, how you acknowledge, how you process, how you feel about that. That's where you have the control. So if you can give yourself time to feel whatever it is you feel, because whatever you feel is valid and it's okay. You could, anger, sadness, whatever it is you're feeling, that initial emotional response is valid. It is what it is. And then you get to decide, you know, do I want to hang on to that? Does it make me feel better to feel that way? Or do I want to feel something else about it? So those are your choices, right? You can either hang out in that initial emotional response and sort of ride the emotional train wherever it decides to take you, or you can take responsibility for how you're feeling once you've had some time to sit with that initial response and decide, okay, you know, how am I going to decide to feel about this situation? How am I going to view it so that I don't have to feel a way that I don't want to feel? And I'm telling you, it gives you so much power. It gives you a crazy, crazy, crazy amount of power when you decide to take ownership of your own emotional well-being and your own emotional response. I think having emotional independence is something that I would love to give everyone on the planet. I would love to give everyone the gift for Christmas, just wrap it up in a little box and say, here is the gift of emotional independence. Being able to soothe yourself, being able to take however you're feeling and work with it in a way that doesn't require anybody else to be any other way, or to act another way, or to apologize, or to do anything different than what they're doing, because your emotional response is your own, and it's something that you manage, and it doesn't have to involve other people, because, you know, other people, they just do their thing, don't they? They just do their thing. Even the people we most love in the world, they just do their thing, and there's nothing we can do about it, and the harder we try, the more difficulty it just creates. So I think that the productive thing to do if we want to feel more in control and like we're in charge of our lives is to really take ownership of our own feeling response to anything, and then work with ourselves to try to make ourselves feel better. And it absolutely can be done. I mean, I have felt the worst of the worst of the worst, anger, frustration, depression, all of that. And I managed to work myself out of that and come at that whole situation with a much more hopeful attitude, with an attitude of forgiveness towards self and others. And I feel like it has just made me such a better, more compassionate, more loving person that I'd love for anybody who has been through something that really hurt them to come out on the other side of that feeling what that is to feel powerful when it comes to your own emotional state. So that's what I wanted to say about forgiveness. I really think it's less about other people and more at forgiving how we feel, and then changing that feeling into something that feels a little bit better for us when we're ready. And that's really the key. It's when you're ready. You get to feel however you want to feel, however long you want to feel it. But when you get to a point where you think, I just can't feel like this anymore. I just don't want to feel like this anymore. This is dragging me down. It's driving me crazy. It's making me angry. It's making me sad. It's making me, eat or take drugs or whatever it is. When you don't want to feel the way that you feel anymore, you have options, and the options are to take responsibility for how you feel about the situation and make some changes to that. So looking at it in a different way so that you can feel a different way about it. And a lot of times the first step to doing that is just to look at something from a different perspective. Would every single person who had that experience that you have had look at it exactly the same way? And the answer is probably no. So maybe you can find a way that somebody else might look at it, and that might help you to feel a little bit differently about it. So I hope that was helpful. I do have today's note to self for you. Let me know if there is anything else you want me to cover as far as this topic of letting go. We've been sort of like walking around it and looking at it from different angles, and I promise that next week we'll be on to a new topic, but I found this one so rich, and it had so many angles and ways that we could look at it that I really thought would help, that I wanted to really, take a big bite out of it, or, grab onto it like a dog with a bone and just like gnaw on it for a while. So please let me know. We still have one more show this week, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, New Pacific. I will be covering one more angle when it comes to this topic of letting go, and then Monday we'll be on to a new topic. All right, so here is today's note to self, if you would like to write it down. I hope you're prepared. I will repeat it at least twice. Sometimes I repeat it a third time at the end. So go ahead and get your pen and paper out, or however you like to write this down. Here's today's note to self. It says, "Dear self, what someone did is their responsibility. How you feel about it is yours." I feel like this is such a great piece of wisdom. It's something that I'm constantly reminding myself of. We all walk through the world and people do things and they annoy us, or they make us angry, or they hurt our feelings, or any other number of things. And what they did is not something we have any control over. It's not our responsibility, but how we feel about it is our responsibility. So let me read you that again in case you missed it and you wanted to write it down. It says, "Dear self, what someone did is their responsibility. How you feel about it is yours." And I like to sign my notes, "Love me." I like to put a little heart there. Makes me happy to see the little heart. It's funny, the little heart always looks just a little bit different. So, let me know how this note resonated with you, if it spoke to you, if it didn't. Let me know if there's anything that we've talked about in this series on letting go that really hit home for you, or if there's anything you want me to cover, because like I said, we have one more day on this topic. I have my ideas of how I want to look at this from another angle tomorrow, but I'm always happy to change my plans, even at the last minute, to answer one of your questions, because you guys are just so much more interesting, and the way you think about things is just so much more enlightening than what I think about. And so I love it when you send me questions or problems or just food for thought that gets me thinking about things in a different way. I sincerely appreciate that. Also, thank you to each and every one of you who shares the show. I can't thank you enough for that. That is how the show grows. I'm going to read you the note one last time, and then we're going to wrap for today, okay? So today's note to self was, "Dear self, what someone did is their responsibility. How you feel about it is yours." Well, thank you, Julio, for joining me live. I love having you guys here live on the broadcast. It is so much more fun when I see that you guys are here and I can think about you on the other end and, smile, knowing that I'm not just smiling at my camera, that I'm actually smiling at another human being. So thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the thumbs up. Just thank you so much. I love and appreciate each and every one of you who watches the Danielle Daily Show. You guys make this show possible. So Thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right, until tomorrow, I will see you guys then. Mwah. Love you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.